What is up, everyone? It's Mr.StealUrGurl coming at you with the StealSpeaks Open Finals. We are finally here, everybody. It has been many months since this tournament started, and we are finally heading to the conclusion. The first map of the best of three is the Coalition Shipyard. And as you can see, our good friend Polarbearz is here. There he is, spawning in as the Orange Aeon Commander, researching Harvogs and dropping down 2 land factories as his engineers resource all the things. And his opponent, as you can see in the bottom, going for the same exact thing, but a little bit of a slower build, opting for Eco first with the commander, dropping down 1 land factory, doing Harvogs, and sending his commander up a little bit further as his engineers eco all day long. So let's speed this bad boy up just a little bit. And as everybody knows from reading the rules of the StealSpeaks Open, we do know that if Polarbearz wins 2 of these, he wins straight out. But since NuclearPizza, usually he's brown, isn't he? He's the blue Aeon today. That is a strange color for him as he drops down a land factory protecting a mass extractor. Very, very nice there. As you know, NuclearPizza came from the bronze match as he won. He's guaranteed second place if he wins or if he loses. I mean, if he loses this, so it's not so bad. But as he's coming from the losers bracket, the unfortunately named losers bracket, he has to win 2 sets of 3, whereas Polarbearz is not so endangered. All he has to do is win 1 set of the best of 3 in these finals here. And as you can see, a little fractar happens there with NuclearPizza losing 2 of his units. So NuclearPizza has to deliver at least 2 victories here in the round of 3, or he loses. So let's see if he delivers this in 30 minutes or less, and see if he can make Polarbearz make him an endangered species, considering he only has to win 1 of the series, whereas NuclearPizza, as we said, has to win 2. And it appears Polarbearz is slipping on by there with 4 Harvogs and a little pathfinding mess up there, but he is just trying to keep NuclearPizza on his toes with those 4 Harvogs, as NuclearPizza is pushing in with his main army, trying to keep Polarbearz at bay. NuclearPizza is definitely producing more units a little bit faster, considering he got that 3rd factory out faster, but Polarbearz is ecoing a little bit more hard, and he abandoned. Oh my goodness, Polarbearz is abandoning his land factory. I don't know if that was a misclick, everyone, or whether he really wanted to send that commander in there to shield his units, which is kind of a dangerous thing considering bots do so much damage. And look at that micro, everyone. The dance of the bots. And Polarbearz bots are getting beat down really hard as a 4th land factory goes down by the pizza. He really likes his franchise, his pizza franchise. I don't know, is it a Pizza Hut? Is it Domino's? Who knows? But he is going to serve his pizza nuclear. And Polarbearz is dropping down a 4th land factory as he researches build cost, build time, and a 5th land factory. It appears that Polarbearz is opening up his endangered species reserve in full force with a 5th land factory well above it's not that well above. He's just got 1 more. And NuclearPizza is still behind on eco by 2 mass points. And I like how Polarbearz is sending 2 engineers to go to the home base land factories As you know, those home base land factories have veterancy, and these are going to be cheaper and cheaper as these build up. And a sixth land factory and a fifth land factory for NuclearPizza, a sixth and a seventh queued up for Polarbearz as Fish comes flying in from NuclearPizza, and Polarbearz taking a little bit of damage there. Actually, a lot of bit of damage there from those nasty bots. Those bots do so much damage, and I believe that is a seventh factory, and he's dropping down two. He wants to put down 2 energy generators, which is not a bad idea considering that you will be way behind, and 5 land factories, and he's a little bit behind on eco, as you can see him dropping down a lot of energy generators. 4 right there, my goodness. And that is 6 land factory, or yes, that is the 6th land factory for NuclearPizza. Like I said, he really likes that franchise, and he's dropping down, making some Yensus as Polarbearz is doing the same, and Polarbearz is trying to push some of those units to the right hand, but he's pushing back towards the center as Polarbearz is trying to get his eco back straightened out, because once you get this many units, I don't think he ever tanked out, but he still wants to get a little bit more energy in there so he can drop down that 8th land factory. That is going to be so crazy, and I think he's bottlenecking on power, but now he is coming back from that little tiny recession there. He's got a lot of energy generators and a little pathfinding problem there for that poor little engineer, and finally NuclearPizza is able to correct that, because that is such a pain in the butt in these RTS games. That does happen, and NuclearPizza, as you can see, he's got, I think he's got the Boda Boom? No, not Boda Boom. What are the names of those bad boys? Those little protector not bots, but oh yeah, there they are. What is that bad boy called? It is a Boda Boom, yes. It's an armor enhancer, so it gives units more HP, and I've lost count of how many units we got here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 factories for the Polarbearz, as NuclearPizza is sneaking by with a pretty good size group of Harvogs there, as he drops down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, his 8th land factory. Polarbearz is putting down his 10th, and Polarbearz loses only one mass extractor at this point, as all of those Harvogs by NuclearPizza go down. And a battle right there in the center. Shot just coming out from Polarbearz. That could be a game changer here, and Polarbearz really wants to be careful here. Oh no, Polarbearz is walking in the middle. I think this is it. I think Polarbearz made himself an endangered species. Boom! Down he goes. A little micro mistake there by the Polarbearz costs him the first game of the finals. These things do happen, and back in 1.25, that patch, that would be customary to push your commander up there and try to draw some troops, to draw some fire, to save your troops some HP. But since the 1.26 patch, the bots have become more of the meta, and they do so much damage to everything in commanders. So that will happen, especially a vet who's been around for so long. So very well played there, NuclearPizza. You delivered that victory in about 12 minutes and 34 seconds there in game time. Look at him standing in there in the center of all his franchise pizza factories. And let us move on there. NuclearPizza has made Polarbearz that much closer to being extinct. So let's check out the game number 2. Thank you guys for waiting through the loading screen. Since I have a pretty fast PC, and it's going to load up relatively quick here. And here it comes right about now. No, I was just kidding. Here it is. The Arctic Refuge, Polarbearz natural habitat, just chilling, dropping down an air factory as the orange UEF. Air factory first as his engineers eco all day long. And NuclearPizza as the blue Aeon commander building a land factory first with his commander, and maybe he wasn't doing it with his commander? No, with his commander, and then ecoing all day long, dropping down his first Domino's Pizza. Well, let's not say Domino's. That might be copyright. But a pizza franchise, he's going to try to deliver his victory in 30 minutes or less as the blue Aeon commander. Arctic Refuge is the second map in the Game of 3 for the finals, as Polarbearz is going for a scout. He's got that one wasp, and he's dropping down 2 land factories. Let's see if the wasp could see anything useful. And he sees those 2 pizza chains as NuclearPizza is dropping down the Harvog. The Harvog is going to be valuable for shutting down any air that may fly over NuclearPizza's base because of that pulsonic battery that could be so useful in shutting down bombing runs. And those air units force that land factory there to get, as you could see, an AA tower. So that is some loss eco there for NuclearPizza as bombers come out for the Polarbearz, as Polarbearz is expanding both ways. And it appears that Polarbearz got the Peace Shield. That could be extremely useful, and it's actually very, very, very powerful against Aeon land until Shotjas come out and a large number of fish stews, or a large number of anything really. So Polarbearz has got some bombers forcing NuclearPizza to not expand very far because he knows those engineers' days would indeed be numbered. And Polarbearz is being so rude and taking NuclearPizza's natural expansion there over to our left-hand side. From NuclearPizza's perspective, it would be the left-hand side. But anyhow, yeah, he is not able to expand there now that that engineer is there, unless those Harvogs march on it and say, no sir, Brigade, that is my expansion. But putting a factory here could be such a problem here for NuclearPizza, and so many Peace Shields, not too many tanks, so it could be a problem for Polarbearz if NuclearPizza attacks. But we shall see. And there's only 3 bombers here. I think he could use at least 5. Is that air factory producing? No, it is not. And so many Peace Shields. I think the ratio may be 2 to 3 or 1 per Rockhead tank. Or maybe now they are 1 for 1. And that's a lot of Peace Shields. Those Peace Shields can stand up to a lot of punishment, considering their Harvogs. Well, Harvogs do a lot of damage, but we shall see what happens. And NuclearPizza doing the dangerous thing of bringing his ACU up with a bunch of Harvogs in the field. That could be extremely dangerous for anybody, not just Polarbearz. And Polarbearz has still got that guy paused. I would like to see that expansion happen. And another land factory going down. And I like that response there. Weapon range, good job there for Polarbearz. I like that response, getting at least 1 fish tooth to apply some pressure. Those shields could take, that would help drop those shields. And those shields go down super fast. The Aeon player not relenting, just going for it because he knows he has the number advantage. And Polarbearz is on the back foot as that land factory goes down. Polarbearz pushing back. NuclearPizza gets training 1 on his units. Polarbearz is looking very, very lonely there as his units die. And boom! Down he goes. What a tricky move there by NuclearPizza as he's taken his ACU up to try to finish the job. And wow, that is unexpected there, but that's what happens with some of the pros. You either have a long, drawn-out battle, or it is very, very short, because NuclearPizza was tricky as they come with those Harvog bots just outnumbering Polarbearz, because on paper it looked like they had even number of units on the ground, but NuclearPizza definitely had more fighting units, where because NuclearPizza had Harvogs as opposed to Polarbearz massive amount of P-shields. So that is where NuclearPizza was able to deliver that victory in less than 8 minutes, guys, in the game time. As you know, we are game speed up 2, so it was a lot faster than 7 minutes or 8 minutes for us. So Polarbearz kind of got tricked there, unfortunately. Polarbearz is definitely one of the best players on the planet, and you don't see that happening very often, but NuclearPizza is one of the best players as well. So NuclearPizza put Polarbearz definitely on the endangered species list, as we have to go for another best of 3 here in a second round of finals. So very well played there, NuclearPizza. An awesome job there, Polarbearz. You held up very well against NuclearPizza, but NuclearPizza just really, really wanted it. So we will see you guys both in the second set of finals. So thank you for playing this match. Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and share with your friends, family, and foes, because they need something fun to watch too. And as always, everyone, GG.